Mic test. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. It's a holiday in the Philippines, so I got more time and I decided to go live a bit earlier so I can have some slower dinner time later. Because usually when I have to do a live at 9, I have to finish early my dinner. I start my dinner at 6 or 7 so I can prepare for the 9 o'clock live, and that's not the most convenient thing. It's not always sexy to rush your dinner. So I said tonight, let me experiment. Let's do a 6:30 version instead, and we'll talk about our usual career issues in life. So welcome. Thank you for joining our session. You may be having your dinner as you're watching. So we'll make sure this is going to be a fun-filled dinner for you. You may be about to order your dinner or you're on your way to enjoy dinner with someone. So thank you for hanging out and thank you for joining the session with us. If you're just jumping in to the session, could you please give us a like or a thumbs up or a heart? We will appreciate that. It will also help us improve our algorithm so we can reach out to more folks. Lillian from Facebook is saying, it's still my lunchtime. What is your time zone, Lillian? Could you please let me know? Just want to check. Okay, so we're finally seeing some folks. Could you also please type your city, your province, where you're coming from, just so we can to get to visualize where our participants are coming from. It will be great to see that. Our topic for tonight is about managing your vacation leave. And that specifically is going to be about how do I really, when I say really, that means really enjoying my vacation leave, meaning as much as possible, no interruptions, no people calling me from work, no emergency breaks, even if they need to happen at work. No checking of laptop, or at least a very, very minimal checking of your smartphone or your laptop related to work, such that when you finally finished your vacation leave, you can tell to yourself that was amazing rest. That was well deserved rest. Versus finding a vacation leave and taking it as if that it was just an extension of your weekend and that you just got a little bit of breather, but you didn't really enjoy it. So we'll talk about those things in today's session. Kier is saying, hello, just got back from work. Saying hello from Sabah, Malaysia. Thank you for joining us. Lorelei says hello from Antipolo City. Angelique from LinkedIn is saying hello from Echage, Isabela. Thank you. Watching while having coffee from Laguna, says Ate Andang. Thank you for joining our session. 𝗧cie Perez is from Nueva Ecija. Thank you also. Okay. Jonathan is from La Union. Dinner time is served. Ayan. Can I get an exclamation mark if 6:30 or 7 is a good time to do our live stream? I don't mind. I can easily adjust my dinner because I'm the type who prefers to do dinner a bit late, like 8 o'clock. Is this an okay time? Or do you prefer the 9 o'clock version or the 10 o'clock version? It will be great. Can I ask for a poll? Can I do a poll here? Do you prefer a 6 o'clock or a 9 o'clock p.m. live stream? Rafael says hello from Marikina City. Kay says hello from Pasig. Raylock says hello from Pangasinan as well. Okay. Ooh, folks are torn. Some people are typing 6 o'clock. Some people are typing 9 o'clock. You guys are making my life harder. It seems like it's a mix, no? Some people are saying 6. Some people are saying 9. Samuel says hello from Occidental Mindoro. Kidapawan City says Briggs. Okay. Lorelei prefers 9. Okay. I see a lot of people typing 9. Is that because we have lots of very young folks? That's why you prefer 9 o'clock. Okay. Guys, let's get to business. All you need to do is to ask questions, type it in the chat box. And we don't need to stick to the topic, although, of course, that is ideal. So the topic for tonight is, could you give us your own personal tips? Give us some of your experiences and your best practices on how you can fully enjoy your vacation leave. Or If you have a concept of paid time off in your company, which does not discriminate if it's a vacation or sick leave, that's also fine. Share your thoughts, share your tips. We'll be reading them so that others can also learn from your tips. And of course, if you have any questions that are related to your career, it could be about quitting your job, conflict with your manager, wanting to switch lanes to a different department. We'll also be asking some of those in the chat box, and then we'll be soliciting some answers also from the participants. Okay? Sav is saying, those who are suggesting 9 p.m. are likely still working daw. Okay, pwede naman. Oh, Leslie Aquino says, hello from Tondo, Manila. Uy, I grew up in Tondo, specifically in Mariones, Tondo, Manila, until the age of 16 or 17 years old. Lots of character building, I must say, when I was in Tondo. Nolly says, hello from Parañaque City. O sige, let's start asking question na. Okay, first, tips wala muna. Okay, first tip. This is a tip from Maribel from TikTok, and her tip for enjoying your vacation leave is do a proper turnover of your documents and passwords, but don't do it the day before. Do it days before so that whoever receives the turnover will have more days to ask questions. I agree. You know, most of the time, people will only do their turnover on the last day before the vacation leave, meaning the afternoon before vacation leave. And sometimes the message does not sink in. So the person who is going to be taking over is going to keep on saying yes, just so they don't look stupid. Or they will keep on saying yes because they think they will figure it out later on. And then their questions will only come up the next day or the next 2 days when you are on vacation. They're really gonna mess up your VL if that's the case. So I will prefer, if you're taking your vacation leave on a Thursday or Friday, do your turnover on a Monday. Do your turnover 3 or 4 days so you have more spaces so that when the issue comes up, and likely most people do not have questions immediately. They will still need time to think about this. They will visualize it. They will find situations or scenarios. If they have more time to think about it and you give them a runway to ask about it, your vacation leave is likely going to be quieter. Can I get an exclamation mark if you agree? Yes. Okay, I agree with that. Also, when you turn over documents to someone, including username and password, don't just turn over the docs. Don't just turn over PowerPoints or Microsoft Word. Turn over the profiles of the people that you're likely going to work with. So when I say the profile, it means, on Friday, likely this person X and this person Y is going to contact you. They're going to be asking about this. Here's a tip when you are talking to this person. They like A and they don't like B. Those tips are also very important. Why? Even if you've turned over to them all the PowerPoints and the Microsoft Word, if they don't know how to talk to the people properly, they don't know how to build a relationship, they don't know how to explain that you're on vacation leave and therefore they are the competent person to take over, it might not be a smooth transition from you to this other person. So turnover is not just technical or mechanical turnover. You have to turn over a part of your personality. You have to turn over a part of how you speak. You have to turn over best practices on how you can engage folks, especially if they need to talk to outsiders in your department. Okay? Okay, this person has been asking it repeatedly on TikTok. This is from Jumeli. Sabi niya, how do you handle nepotism at work that makes me demotivated? You can't. Unless you're the business owner who can kick out the people who are exercising nepotism, or unless you have ways to call out people without them taking revenge on you for having called them out. You just can't. It's either you go with the flow, you get eaten up by the system, or number two, you take the risk, you stay for a longer amount of time, and you try to minimize being part of the mess. Or number three, sometimes you just need to leave. Because if the person's ethics is not aligned with yours, there's no reason to stay and be a culprit be an accomplice to what they're doing. You can't change nepotism. There is no medicine for it. The only way is to clean up the department. And if you don't have that decision power, you can just keep on complaining. But that is it. Okay? Not the best answer that can make you happy, but there are certain pills that solve the problem, but they happen to taste bitter. Okay, Jumeli? Um, Mary Grace, is it proper for a coworker to touch my desktop without asking my permission to open it? This is basic. No, it's your personal property. It's not just your laptop, it's also anything that involves your personal belongings. Okay? I don't know why they would touch. Maybe they're after a specific set of information, by the way. Okay? 𝗬𝗃𝗏𝗀𝗃, where in Tondo? I lived in Moriones, Dama de Noche Street. And then a part of us went to Madrid Extension, which, by the way, I went to during Holy Week. I went to Moriones. Wow. Grabe. Hindi na siya Tondo. It's a very spruced up place. Granted, there are still some areas that need improvement, but I will say that Tondo is not the Tondo that you see in the movies anymore before. A lot of things have significantly improved, and I'm so very happy about that. Khaled Maz is saying on Facebook, way for me to enjoy my vacation leave is take care of my parents and supporting them in all ways and loving them. Uy, sana all. Ba? Okay. Razel is asking on TikTok, how do you handle a role that is given to you without sufficient training? Speak up. Vocalize it. Explain to them why you need training on this. Tell them in advance that mistakes are likely going to happen, and don't wait for the mistakes to happen. If you are visualizing, if you are predicting that the mistakes will likely happen because you don't know about X, Y, and Z, call it out. You want that proof so that if ever the mistake really happens, you can easily go back to them and say, I told you so. I gave you proper warning about this in advance. No one listened to me. This is very important because if something happens, the mistake is not going to be under your full accountability. You want the people to know, especially the decision makers, that they were responsible also for these mistakes to happen. If you don't speak up, again, if you notice, this is my style. I am always an advocate of speaking up because if you're going to apply the silent treatment approach, and I understand it's easier said than done. I understand it will take some risks if you speak up because it might offend some people. But that is your only other option. You have either option A, shut up, or option B, speak up. If you are in a situation wherein nothing's going to change anyway with the status quo, that's when you need to speak up. And when I say speak up, you don't need to be violent to yourself. There is a way to speak up, but you also are graceful. You remain to be polite. We call that, by the way, one of my favorite concepts, one of my favorite authors, Kim Scott, is called radical candor. I'm going to challenge you because I care for you. So instead of saying, that's bad, that's shitty, I don't like that, say something like, I understand why you said that. I understand where you're coming from. However, and then you challenge the person, X, Y, and Z. That's radical candor. Okay? Ooh, shop with Ital is saying on TikTok, I am on mandatory leave for 5 days, but my manager still requires me to attend our meeting. This happened to me in the past from company X that I will not talk about. On the first instance that it happened, I let it slip. I still attended the meetings because I want to be a team player and because there's nothing to do about it anymore. But when I went back to the office after that disrupted vacation leave, I asked for a one-on-one conversation with my manager and I explained to them, my definition of vacation leave seems to be different versus yours. I take my vacation leave sacredly because one of the ways to be able to unwind and recharge outside weekends is to be able to enjoy a vacation leave. And my take on vacation leave is that everyone should be able to enjoy it peacefully. Boss, as much as I would like to contribute and I would like to be a team player, I'd like you to know that when I take my next vacation leave, I would love to be able to do everything in advance so that my vacation leave is not easily disrupted. I'd say something like that. Of course, easier said than done. Lahat naman sa mundo, easier said than done. I get that. But you have to speak up. You need to make your manager know that this is not how you want to spend your vacation leave. If this manager and if this company continues to exercise a culture wherein kapag naka-vacation leave ka, it simply means you're working from home, this is a toxic company that I don't think is worth working for. I'm taking a long pause there because I want you guys to digest it. That's it. No excuses. A vacation leave is supposed to be a leave. It is not supposed to be working from home context. Okay? I've met companies wherein nagagalit pa yung boss if the employee who is on vacation leave is the one sending emails. That's the amazing culture you want to work for. Okay? I've met managers in my career wherein if I am calling them during my vacation leave, they will refuse to take my phone call because I'm the one at fault, that I'm still working and yet I'm in front of the beach. Okay? That's the ideal company. Now, are all companies like that? Of course not. And that's how life is unfair. I'm going to say it now. We are going to be in a trial and error mode when some of us are going to have shitty companies and some of us are going to have amazing companies. That's life. Okay? Okay, Lillian on Facebook is asking, throughout my 20-year career, I can recall if I ever had a real vacation. Interruptions occur constantly. It's tough, especially when you're a PA and none of my coworkers would like to take over because they are so terrified of my boss, who's also the owner of the company. Mas mahirap lalo na sa States. Ako bakasyon considering 12-hour time difference between United States. Okay, Lillian, I have two things to say here. Number one, if you're working with Americans, and I have lots of American friends who will attest to this, we all know that Americans are the least to take a vacation leave throughout their lifespan. Can I get an exclamation mark? They're the least. Did you also know that in United States there is no federal law that grants employees requires employers to to give their employees a vacation leave? Zero. In the Philippines, it's 5. Employers are required to give a minimum of 5 leaves per year. By the way, I'm saying leaves even if I know that there is no plural for vacation leave. Sorry, mas comfortable ako sa vacation leaves eh. I find it off to say vacation leave only. But I understand there's no plural for it. So that's one. So you're really going to have a hard time if you're working with Americans because it's just part of their culture. Okay, that's one. Number 2, based on experience, and I'd like to invite people to chime in the comment section. The smaller a company is, in which the company is owned by a family or owned by one personality, where there are no checks and balance, meaning kahit may HR, they cannot call out the owner because they report to the owner. That's when there are no rules and guidelines for vacation leave because there are no checks and balances. But in companies wherein they are multinational companies, multi-diverse, different departments, power is distributed equally, meaning the HR can call out marketing can call out sales, etc. Likely people are going to follow work-life balance. Okay? Because no one monopolizes the power in the company. So I'm going to say this now. Most people who are not able to enjoy their work-life balance and their vacation leave is driven and dictated by the culture of the company that they're working for. That's where you need to ask yourself now, can I influence the culture or should I abandon the culture? You have 2 options. Or, third pa, titiisin ko ang culture. I may not have the best vacation leave, but I get an amazing amount of pay. Titiisin ko for now. Okay? That's it. That's the only way. There is no magical way to change things, especially if you're a small player, meaning you're new in the company, you don't have credibility yet, your position is not as senior, and you don't get even to influence the decision makers in the company also. Okay, Marian on YouTube is asking, or sorry, is commenting. I took a leave, but 85% of it I was dealing with people for work to the point that I was crying already because from time to time there are phone calls. Here's one more tip. Most you cannot blame sometimes when people don't know that you are on vacation leave. So when someone is calling you, it's not because they're impolite and disrespectful, they just don't know. So you know what a good tip is? Identify the top 10 people that you think you are going, that you likely are working with. These are the people who you likely 80% or 70% of the time, you have an interface with them on a daily basis. 2 days or 1 day before, contact them, send them an SMS template and says, "Hi team, I will be on vacation leave on this day. So if you have any urgent concerns, I will appreciate if you tell it to me now." I often do that. Number two, when I tell people that I'm on a vacation leave, sometimes without asking for their approval, I am going to indicate the purpose of that vacation leave. Not because I'm asking for approval, because it's already approved. I want them to know the purpose because when they know that this is so sacred for me, they will give their best not to disturb me. So when I say something like, I'll be spending the fourth birthday of my son. I'll be spending a full day with my parents because it's my mom's birthday. You know, when you tell that to people and people appreciate that you are taking a vacation leave because of it, a lot of them hold back. A lot of them find a way not to disturb you at all because they want to be sensitive to the reason why you are filing a vacation leave. Sometimes it works. Okay? Can I get an exclamation mark? Have you done that? Have you experienced that? Yes. Here's tip number three. Your out of office reply. Can I get a letter O in the chat box if you guys are doing out of office replies? Here's my tip. Activate your out of office reply not on the day of the vacation leave. Activate it 1 day or 2 days and then indicate in that out of office reply, I will be out on this specific days. Why is this important? Anyone who emails you is likely someone who's going to be working with you, right? My dogs are barking now again with each other. Shh. Okay. Why is this important? 2 days or 1 day before, you'll be able to find out, they will be able to find out that you can't be available for them. So say it in advance, okay? Without having to SMS them one by one, for example. Okay? Can I get an exclamation mark if that works? I hope it does. Okay, let's answer some more questions or some comments. Okay, ito meron pala. Emong Ramos is asking, is it prohibited by law to ask the employee the reason why they are taking vacation leaves? There are no laws about this. I am an advocate that you should not be asking for a reason why. Okay? I am an advocate that managers should not approve vacation leave based on the reason behind it because it's none of your business. It's outside work, it's outside the office. You don't own them, they're not your slaves. Unfortunately, it's not illegal. I want to give you some perspective. In Europe, countries like Portugal, Belgium, and France, it is illegal to a certain extent to contact and make people work after office hours. After office hours, which means if someone, for example, if your boss contacts you at 7 o'clock p.m. and asks you to send this email, you have all the rights to ignore it and that you should never be reprimanded by your boss. If you are reprimanded by your boss, that can be something that you can file for a legal case. That's how progressive they are. Of course, in the Philippines, where I think we are heavily influenced by American culture and Asian culture, there are no boundaries. Especially in marketing departments, sales departments, where everything is a matter of urgency for revenues, people really get to hold back. Okay. I agree. Glenn Principe on Facebook is saying, vacation leave on Christmas and New Year holidays, it's automatic. If you're a new hire or a transfer, you are the person na magbabantay ng tindahan. Can I get an exclamation mark if you agree? This is so true. The more senior you are, the more you can file for a vacation leave, even during the days that it's not a holiday. But the younger you are and the newer you are in the company, you just can't. So this is where this is where power gets monopolized by those who have been in company for the longest. Khalid Maz on Facebook is asking, on sick or commenting, on sick leave, can we still work online from home while we are out on sick leave from the office by sending message to the manager it's okay to take permission to be sick? Yes, of course. You should. In most companies, if it's just a 1 day sick leave, you don't need to give a medical certificate. Okay. However, I'm gonna give an example. I've had an employee wherein every Monday, I'm gonna repeat, every Monday, almost every Monday, this person files for a sick leave. And then so I said, I understand that you may be sick and it's only for 1 day, but I am curious to know that this is happening consistently on a weekly basis. So if this is a uniquely a Monday sickness, can you please go to your doctor and try to ask for medical advice why you are always sick on a Monday? Of course, when I was saying that, at the back of my head, meron akong theory. My theory is that this person's not really sick. He just really wants to enjoy a 3 day weekend, which is unfair because the rest of the team is working hard. Those are examples wherein, I'm sorry, you have to give me proper documentation as to why this is happening all the time. Okay? So same thing. If you think you're sick on that same day, I don't think you need to explain as much. Send a message to your manager and tell them, boss, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well. My tummy's not feeling well. I'm having a migraine, etc. I'm going to take the day off. That's it. Granted, there are people who are going to judge you, but that's fine. If you die because of it, hindi mo mabalik ang buhay mo. So take that sick leave if you need to take it. But please take it responsibly. Take it responsibly. I'll give an example. You know, there is a Reddit. I think I've mentioned this before. Merong Reddit akong nakita wherein someone posted my TikTok video about me complaining about people saying that I am against people taking a sick leave after a vacation leave. And someone said, ooh, Jonathan is so cruel about this. And here's my explanation. If you file for a vacation leave on a Friday, okay, because you're going out on a beach trip, let's say you went to La Union on a Friday, you went drunk on a Friday, got drunk on a Saturday, got drunk again a Sunday morning, and you know that you cannot go back to work on a Monday morning when you are not on sick leave, neither on vacation leave, and magically you're gonna tell your boss that you're sick and therefore you have to be absent. Is that a responsible way of working? Can I get the letter Y if your answer is yes? Is that responsible? Or can I get the letter N? No, that's not responsible at all. It isn't, right? I don't think that's being responsible, right? Why? If you took a vacation leave from Friday and you're gonna enjoy your Saturday, Sunday, please be responsible. Take good care of your health. Don't live life as if it's your last weekend on planet Earth because you're confident that you're gonna file for a sick leave. If you think that you're gonna be drunk for the entire weekend, then have the decency to also file your Monday as a vacation leave as your extra allowance because it's already a matter of choice. Yes? Can I get an exclamation mark if you agree? Yes? Right? I'll give you another example. I've met people like this. They're gonna file their vacation leave on a Friday, and then they're also gonna file for a sick leave on a Monday. When in fact, on a Monday, that's when their flights were scheduled. Meaning, planado na magkakasakit sila. So they were lying. And please be mindful about that because if someone found out that you were lying about that sick leave, Do you really think that people are going to trust you again, allowing you to take another sick leave? Yes. A lot of people are like that. That was my point in that TikTok video. Okay. So whoever complains that I'm too strict, number one, you don't work for me. So be happy about that. But number two, it's the only fair thing to do. If you have issues about that, you're being selfish. Because this isn't about you only. This is also about everyone in the team. Wag na natin sabihin na it's about the company. I'm not even gonna say that. It's not even about the company. It's about your colleagues. It's about your colleagues who are gonna suffer because you were too delinquent and irresponsible to not take your vacation leave in the right way. 𝗬cy𝗱𝗶𝗴𝗀 is asking on Facebook, I was absent for 3 days, and when I reported back, I filed for my, what is Form 6? Sorry, I don't know it. And used my sick leave, I assume. Then my immediate manager did not sign the form and ask for what's the emergency. Is there a violation done by my supervisor? Well, NC, number one, all managers are going to be doubtful of what happened if you don't give them proper explanation. So give proper documentation why you were out for 3 days. If you think that you were sick, explain what type of sickness. And I think 3 days warrants a medical certificate without even telling them on the second day or first day while you are out. Okay? So it's a two-way street. I need to highlight this. Okay? Mm, okay, let's answer another one. How about if you filed a vacation leave in advance, but it wasn't approved? Hold the person accountable. This is you not begging for a favor. This is you claiming your privilege. Claiming it's if it's within your 5 days of vacation leave, it's within your rights. If it's more than the 5 days, it's within your privilege. Hold the person accountable by asking them why. I understand that you are declining the vacation leave. May I ask why? Because if I find out the reason why, I might give some remedy about it and that there is no reason to decline my application in the first place. Okay? Oh, someone said this. Grace is responding to the question of NC here. What is SPL? It might be a different terminology because it depends on the industry, it depends on the company. Okay? Special privilege leave. Okay. Not all companies have that. Most special privilege leaves are not filed one day before or on the day itself. Special privilege leaves require time for approval because it's going to be filed for a longer period of time. So you have to notify. How advanced should we file the vacation leave? I would give it 2 weeks or 3 weeks. A month will be good. I will not file a vacation leave 2 months or 3 months before. Why? It's too far from the date that changes might happen. Also, people will have a hard time to decide because they don't know if there is a business need for you to be there. Okay? I need to say this, however, at the end of the day, vacation leaves are going to be prerogatives of an employer, especially when it comes to timing. Why? If you're fighting for a vacation leave on the day of your product launch, where you are responsible for the launch, it's ridiculous to file for a vacation leave because you're needed there. Of all the days, why the specific days? Okay? So a level of, a prerogative, a discretion comes from the employer, comes from the manager in this case. Okay, SPL daw is for government na leaves. My take here is that whatever is the rule of your company, just follow it. Probably the reason why your manager did not approve your SPL, your special privilege leave, is because it was, as was mentioned a while ago, it was filed with the wrong timing. Okay. Solo parent leave, not familiar because I'm not a solo parent as well. It will be great if someone sheds light on that, or I think it's a Googleable information also. AD is saying, how do you call this? 7 days in advance in our company to file for a vacation leave. Again, it depends, no? Uh, it depends on your company policy because this is not something that the government regulates. Remember, in the Philippine labor law, the only thing required from employers is to make sure that all employees that have spent at least 12 months of work, I'm going to repeat, at least 12 months of work, they are given 5 days of leave, which we call as service incentive leaves. That's it, 5 days. If you get 20, if you get 30, it's not required by the government. It's because the company was generous to give it to you. Yeah. That's why I will say this. Vacation leave are not purely rights. Vacation leaves are not also purely privilege. The first five are your rights. The others are privileges, meaning they're under discretion of the company. 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗷𝗃𝗀𝗏, do I need to explain the reason why I am filing an emergency leave? I don't even think that you should ask permissions. If your company grants you emergency leave, the reason why it is an emergency is because it does not need any further explaining. So take it as it is. However, I will be doubtful if you have been filing emergency leaves too frequently. Meaning, in a month, nakakadalawa or tatlo ka na. In 3 months, nakakalima ka na. It's just not normal for someone to have too many emergencies in their lives. So that's when people are gonna disapprove it or they're gonna call you out after you've been absent. And some companies will also say that your emergency leave is not emergency leave. It's a wall. It's absence without leave. Okay? Okay, LBM, sabi ni Don Don, laging besperas ko magsabi. Okay. Let's cover two more questions if that's okay. Oh, someone's asking, John, kailan po ang next ninyong sale for your books? I have your copies of our books. If it's your first time to catch us, all of our best-selling books, bestsellers meaning they're from certified by National Bookstore. They're all available in our bookstore. The next sale is gonna happen sometime in September, but of course we're not gonna tell that to you because that's the point of doing a sale, diba? I'm gonna tell it to you if the date comes, if the day gets nearer. But Lazada and Shopee, we usually have a 50% off sale in those two platforms. But in the meantime, you can get your copies in National Bookstore, fully booked. If you're in Malaysia and Singapore, MPH and Kinokuniya, also available. If you're in the Middle East, Magrudi's bookstores, also available. So thank you for making me mention that. Okay. Okay, one more question on TikTok. Do you have all the rights? Okay, John, do you have all the rights to decline a phone call from a colleague if you are on vacation leave? This will depend on the culture, but generally my answer is yes. I would say yes. Now, some people will call you, as I mentioned a while ago, because they don't know that you are on vacation leave. I will send, what I will do is I will ignore the phone call or I will decline the phone call. But if the person is very persistent to call again, or if the person is persistent to text me and say, hi, I have something important to say, then that means that this can be a matter of life and death. This can mean that this is a matter of something that is so urgent. So I will text back the person and say, hi, I'm currently on vacation leave. Is this something that cannot wait for tomorrow? Is this something that cannot wait for Monday? Or is this something that my teammate, Anna, can cover instead? So I will say something like that because if it's something that can be managed by someone, then the person's gonna hold, they're gonna leave you alone. Okay? Can I get an exclamation mark? Does that make sense? Wait, by the way, can we ask nga for some likes or some hearts? We will appreciate that from our participants in the room. Hindi ko mag-get sa TikTok yung mga nag-ask for permission to be part of the live. Anong gagawin ko? Seryoso? Really, what were you expecting me to do to allow you to be part of the live? Right? Normal ba yun? Normal ba yun sa live? I'm just calling it out. Ooh, okay. April Cadenas on Facebook. One of my colleagues had a 3-day sick leave. 3-day sick leave. Baka napindot lang daw. Oo nga naman, pwede. One of my colleagues had a 3-day sick leave. She presented a medical certificate but posted on Facebook on the 3rd day that she went out for dinner. Any advice on this one? If you look at the technicality of it, if you are on sick leave on the 3rd day, then that means that sick leave is only material until 5 o'clock p.m. or during working hours. So meaning, maybe gumaling na siya, maybe okay na siya during dinner. If it's no longer part of the working hours, the person's ready to go back the next day, then that's fine. I would be more doubtful if the dinner photo was posted on the 2nd day or on the 1st night. But I think your point here, April, is if you found out that someone is not really sick because they were doing something else, I would do a one-on-one talk with this person. I'm going to call them out and say, what is the reason why you were on sick leave, but you were also not sick during this day? You know what's the reason for that? It's not because I want to call out a technicality. I want to make sure if this is really part of the personality of the person. Kasi if they know how to lie in this department, I'm sure that they're not going to be hesitant to lie in other spaces of work as well. Yes? Can I get an exclamation mark if you agree? So I need to iron that out. I need to call out the person. I want them to know that I am monitoring them. And if ever they do it again, they will be monitored. And number 3, they will be held accountable for making those lies. Because a lie on a certain task can be effective and can graduate to other types of lies in the other parts of the company. Sabi ni Nika, that this is why don't add your bosses and managers on Facebook or Instagram. That's another topic we discussed before. If you want to go back to our archives of videos, we had a live stream about should you add your bosses and your colleagues on social media. And my answer here is generally I wouldn't. I don't want people to have an idea of what I do in my personal life and for them to conclude that my performance is because of what I do in my personal life. I usually only add my bosses and my colleagues if, number 1, we are really that intimate and close, and number 2, when I have already left the company and there are no more awkwardness between the two of us. Cheng Stew is saying, I love it when people take a vacation leave. It means that they are taking care of their personal lives too. Work life, personal life balance is right. Okay. Yes, agree. You know, there are 2 schools of thoughts when taking a vacation leave. It's always best to take it on a Monday or Friday. Usually Friday because people also slow down on a Friday. Sometimes it could be Monday because Monday is just too busy. So busy that people are minding their own job that they don't need to work with others yet. So you're going to be invisible. Another school of thought is to file a vacation leave in the middle of the week, like on a Wednesday, so that you have a breather between the weekends, Sunday and also your Saturday. It depends on what works for you. I also think it depends on the industry that you're working for. I will file vacation leave when I think it is not the busiest day of the week. Because if you're filing it on the busiest day of the week, and if the company is just really toxic that way, they're going to find a way to call you even during your vacation hours. Don, is it okay that every month you give your employees vacation leave? Yes, it depends, but that is also what weekends are for. And for some companies, it's becoming more permanent and normal that Friday is now permanently work from home. So that even if people are still working, they have a semblance of being able to spend more time with their family and with their household chores, even on a Friday. That's how I see the future in a post-pandemic world. Japes Garcia, okay. Let me take this as my last question, by the way, because I need to go. Gladiators in suits. If you want to take a leave but you cannot because you keep on thinking about your work, is it a sign that you don't have a healthy relationship with work? Of course. It's also a sign that you don't know how to put boundaries. It's also a sign that you probably have a messiah complex. You believe that if you're not at work or in the office, the work will stop. It can also be a symptom that you don't know how to delegate tasks to other people and you did not properly coach your people to get the things done. Why? If you really know, if you really taught them how to get it right, even if you're not in the office will still run. Can I get an exclamation mark if you agree? Yes? So, leaders and managers, I'm also going to call you out. Maybe the reason why your people are not competent, it's not because they're stupid. It's because you have not properly coached them that even when you're not in the office, they know how to run the show. And therefore, you don't like to file a vacation leave. Diba? Okay? Folks, I need to go. Thank you for joining our live stream for tonight. I'm still leaning towards a 9 p.m. live stream because if you look at people's responses kanina, a lot of them prefer a much later. I think this is dinner time for you. But I had to do the session today because I have dinner to attend in a while. Okay? Um, we're going to do another live session Wednesday, I think. Wednesday or Thursday. That's going to be the last day that I will give away tickets to our upcoming workshop at the SMX Convention Center. If you're not yet familiar, we have a workshop on August 25, this Friday, and August 26, this Saturday. Workshops are about leadership, social media marketing, public speaking, and also business writing. You can go to our website, jonathanyabut.com. The ticket is for 3 hours worth of learning, and it's at 1,799 pesos. You can buy your tickets on our website. We still do have available seats, so please join us. It's our biggest batch so far. Our Boost Your Confidence workshop now has 140 enrollees. Ang dami, di ba? Our leadership workshop has 124 participants so far. So thank you. We're very happy because this is our record-breaking month for our workshops. Okay, stay safe. I'm not gonna say stay dry because it's really been humid and hot lately. So, I don't know, 2 times or ako kanya 2 times ako naligo. Sobrang init. Okay, so good luck and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.